welcome to Reading with Kermie. Chris here, aka Kermie, and this is Don't Sweat. Let me start that again. This is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. It's just small stuff with the family we've been reading, and I like to say I'm glad to be back on a Reading with Kermie. It's been probably actually maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks since I did a Reading with Kermie. Take a little break, a little hiatus, I guess. A few days ago, I'd say last week, maybe I got in that mindset that was kind of negative for me, and I see it now. What happened was, I got, oh, hi, Binks. Binks misses Reading with Kermie, too. How you doing, buddy? Anyway, I got in a mindset last week that, why am I doing these Reading with Kermies all the time? Anyway, if nobody's freaking watching it or viewing it. But that's not why we started this Reading with Kermie in the first place. This is a moment for me, 10 minutes out of my day, along the same purpose as Kermie karaoke. For me, good healing, it's good medicine, really. And it passes some positive time. And maybe I hear a positive message in return and grow from the experience of this Reading with Kermie. So that's the intention. And, I can't be in that attention mode. Well, nobody wants it. Nah, nah, nah. I don't have to share it. I choose to share this. Go. Bonus if somebody else does watch the show and say, hey, that's awesome. Can't wait for the other one or whatever. So, Reading with Kermie is an option for everyone. It's just free. Something I sit down and do and decided to tape and share. So there. Welcome back to Reading with Kermie. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's the small stuff in the family. Let's get started. Thank you for listening to my little spiel. Anyway, chapter 46 we're on. Don't sweat the little quirks. Like this guy's quirks. Anyway, in some ways, it's no wonder that the people you live with can drive you crazy with the little quirks. The way someone eats, uses utensils, breathes, flits her hair, jiggles his legs, stacks pennies, stomps his or her feet, or whatever. After all, chances are you spend more time with these people with them than anyone else. Therefore, you have far more opportunities to experience and become, yes, Binks, familiar with the quirks and idiosyncrasies of your family members that you do with anyone else. Over time, you come to expect, even anticipate those quirks. And when they occur, they tend to annoy you. True. Let's face it, there isn't a person alive who doesn't have his or her share of irritating quirks. I have so many, I'd be embarrassed to share them with you. Yes, this is true. And if you were really honest, I bet you'd admit to having a few of your own. But despite these innocent quirks, I'll bet you're a really nice person with many fine qualities. I like to fall into the same category. I like to think I fall under the same category, which I do say so myself. Carry on. The point is, we're all human. Whether you live alone and only have to deal with your own little quirks or those of any pets you might have, or whatever. Or whether you have a spouse and a bunch of kids and have, next page, and have dozens of quirks to control within on a regular basis. We're all in this together. To be human, to have quirks, big deal. Alright? Alright, Binks? Big freaking deal. We're all in this together, man. Alright, he agrees. Many people are easily bothered by their own quirks and by those of their family members. They focus on them and wish they would go away. They share their displeasure with their closest friends, but guess what? The chances of these pesky quirks going away are about as good as many chances of winning the Wimbledon Tennis Championship. 0 to none. Okay, maybe one in a great while someone will outgrow an annoying quirk and or change a pattern or habit, but this is extremely rare and in most cases highly unlikely. Think about it. Doesn't the friend whom you are confiding in regarding your spouse's irritating quirks have a few of his or her own? What's more, do you think your friend might on occasion discuss your little imperfection with his or her other friends? Question mark. Dun, 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 dun. You really have only two options when it comes to dealing with quirks. You can continue to be critical of and be bothered by the little quirks that exist in your household, or you can choose to see them as innocent and humor and inherited in virtually all quirks. After all, no one wants annoying quirks to be part of his or own personal makeup. We certainly don't set one. We certainly don't set out to create them. They develop unintentionally and continue out of pure habit. In addition, it's important to keep in mind that if you were to live with someone else, he or she would quickly exhibit a variety of quirks, and who knows, might be even more annoying than the ones you are currently focused to deal with. Why not make the decision to make those little quirks a little less relevant? Doing so is a huge relief. You will no longer have to spend mental energy reminding yourself how irritated you are. Therefore, feeling the effects of that irritation, and you'll find that when you're more forgiving and accepting of everyone else, it is far easier to be easier on yourself. So starting today, whatever small stuff around the house bugs you, see if you can let it go. You'll be so much happier as a result. Oh boy, is that a good reading for us all. I'm glad I came back and to reading Kermie and found that reading. Yes, those little quirks that chapter talks about of roommates, pets, Banks, I love you, but you have a few of your own. And over time, I've learned to accept those things. Not just Kat, my sister I live with for the umpteenth million time. But you know what? Over time and over years of experience, I've learned to accept a lot of gross quirks. And you know what? It does get easier to accept things over time. Trust me, there was a point that I didn't accept, and things drove me crazy. Not with the roommates now, but previous roommates, relationships, etc. We all know that we can get those quirks and to bug the hell out of us. We all know that. We all been there on both sides, I'm sure. But yes, acceptance is key. Doesn't mean we have to deal with every little thing and behavior. No, we accept what we have no control over. Yes, we can walk out of a room, for example, or something or whatever. Walk away from the person's quirkable behavior at whatever moment. But those everyday, unintentional ones that chapter talks about just takes a lot of acceptance sometimes. And it's okay. Once you accept and say, hey, this is you, this is what you do, this is how you are, I can focus on many negative things that my sister has, but I don't, because she's my sister and I love her and she's my roommate and we do great together as roommates. So is Mr. Binks here. Many quirks that could annoy the hell out of me, but as the book shared, I use them as comic relief and just laugh about it and say, hey, this is you. It's who you are. I love you anyway. That takes a lot sometimes to get to that understanding and that point. But it's possible, and it's possible for all of you to just accept it. Sometimes it's difficult and challenging, but that's part of our life here. You know what? It's okay. And I hope all you guys are doing okay and got something out of that reading today. And You're doing well through this lockdown. It's been over 2 months already. It's amazing, but we're hanging in there. Just continue to yourself. Just control what you have control over in your life. Keep yourself healthy and give yourself self-care and stay grounded. That's important. Alright, well, it's already 4:30 and I haven't been outside and I want to take my camera for a walk. So that's what I'm going to do. Lockdown activities. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace. Be good.